Hello friends, Namaste and welcome to Ramesh Knowledge Index. I am Karthik Jha here. Today we are going to solve 2015 Social Studies section of NTSE SAT paper, 2015 SAT paper. Now, knowing theory is one thing and then knowing to handle questions is another thing. So we should, there will be many instances when you will not have the remotest idea of where the questions are from. So you should be clever enough to connect the dots, to correlate things and find answers. So we will understand how to do that, especially in social studies, because it carries 40% of the overall SAT weightage. So I want you to pay whole and soul attention, your whole and soul attention to this session. Okay, so let's begin without wasting much time. Okay, now the first question is we have to match the following pairs. Like, what is livery? I think if you have read the French Revolution chapter, I think by seeing these four words only, the first thing that comes into my mind is the French Revolution chapter of class 9th NCERT. Okay, so livery is a unit of currency that was used in the old regime. Okay, I think it's quite sharp. Okay, I don't know about manner. I have no idea. What is tithi? Tithi was a tithi, if I'm not wrong, was a tax that was levied by the church. Correct. Tithi was a tax levied by church. Taili was a tax that was paid directly to the state. So these answers are very now only one option is left. So this is the clever approach that I was talking about. Now we are very sure that B is 2. Okay, so manor was an estate of Lord's land and his mansions. Okay, now if you look into the options, you will not find any option which matches such a pair or such a matching, and I think this is correct. So the answers that are given in the options are not correct. So there was a bonus that was given for this question, but if I would have been there, I would have attended question option number 3 because it is most close to all the matches that I have made. Simultaneously, even you try to find the answers to these questions. Let us see if you are able to do that. Okay, now give the 60-second question a try. It's an interesting question and it's quite straightforward. It is not very tough to answer. If you see, the 60-second question says the 1905 revolution in Russia, Duma or the first elected consultative parliament came into existence. That's true, and I think anyone who have given Russian Revolution, that is a chapter of class 9th NCERT, a first reading will know this, because after the first revolution, that was the 1905 revolution, Duma came into existence. That was a parliamentary body. But the second statement that is given, the power of Tsar was curbed by it, or the Tsar was abdicated, this is entirely false, because Tsar was the one who gave Duma the powers. Getting my point? Tsar was the one who gave Duma the powers. Now how can his powers be curbed? This is this I don't think holds any position. So I think the first statement is true and R is false. Assertion is true, R is false. So the answer to this question is option number 3. Okay, now let's move on. Now we have to arrange the following in chronological order. Now see, by looking into the question, or by looking into these 4 events, I can easily eliminate 2 options. Now what are those 2 options? See, I'm very sure that this Weimar Republic was formed well before any of the other 3 events occurred. Dave's plan I have no much idea about, but is that given as the first one? Yeah, can be, but I'm very sure that the if you look into the first option, it is given 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you look, Dave's plan, crashing of the Wall Street Exchange and Weimar Republic. If you remember, Weimar Republic soon after the First World War was formed, but Wall Street Exchange took place in 1929. Correct. So Wall Street Exchange cannot be the answer, because Wall Street Exchange, the crashing of Wall Street Exchange or the Great Depression took place in 1929. So that is not the answer. So one is gone. One is gone. One is gone. Now let's look into the third option. It says 4 occurred first. 4 is creation of Gestapo. If you remember, Gestapo was a secret police force that was formed during the Nazis regime or Hitler's rule. Okay, so Hitler's rule did not come into existence before Weimar Republic. So third one is false. Now you see 50% of the options, or now you have a 50-50 chance of getting the right answer. The other 2 options are quite difficult, because you see it is given B occurred first, and I mean the third option occurred first and the fourth option occurred last. I mean, yeah, the fourth option occurred last. Okay, so this was the last to happen. This is the last to happen. Okay, the first to happen was the birth of Weimar Republic. Now I'm not sure. Now if you have not read about Dave's plan, if you don't know what Dave's plan is, then it is very difficult to find whether Wall Street Exchange took place first or the Dave's plan came into existence first. So to answer that, I want you to know this. Dave's plan was a plan that was introduced. Dave's plan Dave's plan was formulated in 1924. Why was it formulated? It was formulated by a US based president. His name was also some Dave kind of name. Okay, and what he did is he formed a triangular structure. So what happened is USA used to give some loans to Weimar Republic or Germany for its recovery from the First World War. Then Germany used to pay to the Allied powers. Allied powers used to pay back to US. Why they used to pay back to US? They used to pay back for all the war loans that they had taken from US. Okay, so the ultimate winner was US. You can read more about Dave's plan in detail, but now if you know that Dave's plan occurred in 1924, so it's very easy that Dave's plan took place before the crashing of Wall Street Exchange, because Wall Street Exchange was crashed in 1929. So one will come before 2. So the fourth option is absolutely correct. Fourth option is absolutely correct. Okay, now let us move on. Let us move on to the 64th question. Cricket as a game has a long and strong rural connection. That's true. That seems to be true. The time limit of a match and vagueness about the size of cricket ground is a result of rhythms of village life. Now if you have read that chapter, it's very obvious, like you know that this game originated in the rural area, and in rural areas you do not have a fixed boundary. You cannot limit your size of the ground. Okay, you are not sure. Some will play in a very large ground, some will play in small grounds. So although the pitch length is decided, but the length of the ground is not decided in a cricket game. I think there's a very good example. If you go to the Kolkata stadium, there you have to hit a very high 6 for your 6 to reach out of the boundary. And if you come into the Bangalore Vara stadium, therein you have to play very smoothly for a out of boundary shot. Okay, so I think that is where there is an excess that can be drawn. Time limit, if you see, there is that test match, a very lengthy game that takes place for 5 days or something. So that finds its origin in rural areas, wherein they were not, every time they used to have some work, so they used to leave the game in between and they used to continue again the next day. So the vagueness of time and the vagueness of the size of the cricket ground is because of its origin in the village. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So first option is absolutely right. Okay, now let us move on to the 65th question. In the 17th and 18th century, merchants from the towns in Europe started financing peasants and artisans in the countryside for the production for them. Yeah, this is true. This comes from the industrialization chapter, class 10th industrialization. Okay. In the urban centers, powerful crafts and trade guilds with monopoly rights restricted the entry of new people into trade. Correct, absolutely correct. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. If you remember, this is this was the reason that was given for merchants moving. This is from that proto-industrialization wala part. In the industrialization wala chapter, you had that proto-industrialization section, no? There we had this, wherein it was given that some merchants moved to the countryside because urban crafts and guilds did not allow them to expand in the cities. Okay, so first one is correct. 66th question. Colonial Forest Act changed the lives of villagers across the country. That is true. Now the villagers could comfortably make use of forest resources for everyday needs. Okay, is that true? No. If you remember this this is from Forest and Colonialism chapter in class 9th NCERT, wherein it is very clearly discussed that the Colonial Forest Act divided forests into reserved forest, village forest, and some protected forest, reserved forest, and village forest. Okay, vaguely into these three categories. They had no say in the control of some reserved forest, whereas in village forest they could collect some woods and could graze their animals. So that is how they divided the forest, but they did not allow the villagers to comfortably have access to the forest resources. This is completely false. So R is false, A is true. Okay, now that's that being said, let us move on to the 67th question. Arrange the following events of 19th century in ascending order, increasing order. That's interesting, you know. The chronological orders are always asked in NTSC, and that is the speciality of NTSC. Okay, unification of Germany, unification of Italy, beginning of the Greek struggle for independence, and Vienna peace of settlement, and all these things. Okay, so let us look into that. I will tell you the dates. Unification of Germany occurred in 1871. Okay, beginning of Greek struggle for independence. See, the Treaty of Constantinople was in 1832. Okay, the Greek struggle for independence started in 1822 something. Okay, unification of Italy in 1861. Vienna's peace settlement, it was after the Waterloo's battle in 1840, in 1805. Yeah, I think in 1805. But if I even don't know the dates, but I know that Vienna peace settlement took place first. Okay, Vienna's peace settlement took place first. Okay, and after that we had the Greek struggle for independence. So the first and the third options are already gone. Okay, because all these unification wala processes started happening only after the peace settlements, or Vienna's peace settlement, when Napoleon was abdicated, and that Vienna's Congress took place in 1815. Yes, in 1815 it took place. Okay, it just clicks. Okay, so Vienna peace settlement took place in 1815. Then the Greek struggle for independence began. Now, what took place first? Unification of Italy or unification of Germany? Unification of Italy took place first, and then Germany. So the correct answer to this will be fourth option. Second option, wherein unification of Italy took place first. For this, you need to know the dates of unification. It's very important. Italy's unification was in 1871. Italy's unification was in 1861. Germany's unification was in 1871. Okay, so that being said, now let us move on to the next question. Arrange the following events in descending order with regard to nationalist movement in Indochina. Now this is a tough question, because you know, now this chapter, as it has been removed, it is very less chances that they will ask questions from this chapter. But even then, let me formally tell you the answer. If you can give this a try, well and good, but you can be very sure that those chapters which have been removed, you will have either no or very less questions. So don't worry about those chapters. Okay, so the first option is correct. Paris Peace Treaty took place first, then the Declaration of Independence by Ho Chi Minh, and formation of Communist Party in Vietnam, creation of Indochina Union. I have no much clue about this chapter. Okay, let's move on to the 69th question. Find out the correct statement with regard to Rowlatt Act. Great, our favorite topic. Okay, what does it say? The Rowlatt Act was passed in 1990. Correct. The act was, so first one is correct. Okay, we have to find the correct option. So this is also correct. Okay, first one is correct. The act was passed by Imperial Legislative Council. It was passed by British Parliament. Imperial Legislative Council? I doubt. The act allowed detention of political prisoners without trial for 3 years. No, it was 2 years. It was 2 years, na? Yes, it was not 3 years. So you can be very sure that the first option is wrong. The first option is wrong. The second option is wrong. The third one is also wrong. So the fourth one is the correct answer. What is the correct answer? Fourth one. Now, see, I doubt it, because in NCERT it is written the act was passed by British Parliament. But as no other option is matching the correct sequence or correct pairs of correct statements, so I think the fourth option will be correct. It's very fine to call the British Parliament Imperial Legislative Council, but it is not okay to make 2 years 3 years. That is violation of mathematical rules, which should never happen. Okay, so population growth from late 18th century increased the demand for food grains in Britain. Correct. Corn laws introduced by government helped in reducing the food prices. This is from that chapter, if you remember, making of the global world. I have made a long video explaining the making of the global world. It's quite long. If you want, you can watch it. So if you remember, the population was growing and so was the demand of food grains. But corn laws were a set of laws which did not allow corns to be imported into Britain from other parts of the world. So this resulted in not reducing the food price. It led to increase in food price, because the people in Britain, the farmers in Britain, had a monopoly over the production of corn. So they actually they were not having very high technology, so they kept the prices very high. When the corn law was abolished, only then the price is reduced. Okay, so A is true but R is false. A is true but R is false. So that is the answer. Now let us move on. Great. Now I think 71st is a very good question, because you know this comes Edu. If you remember, Edu is there in print culture. This complete question is from that chapter only. Print and the making of something, the last chapters, the second last chapter of class 10th NCERT. Okay, so Edu is the old name of Tokyo. Correct. We are matching the following options. Velam is a parchment made from the skin of animals. The name only suggests all this. Diamond Sutra contained 6 sheets of text and woodcut illustrations. The oldest Japanese book, Diamond Sutra. Okay, so galley is supposed to be metal frame in which types are laid and the text are composed. So A is supposed to be 3, B is supposed to be 1, so first or fourth. C is supposed to be 4. C is supposed to be, so they have given C is supposed to be 4. Yeah, so the fourth option is correct. C is supposed to be 4th and D is supposed to be 2. Okay, so you don't need to match all the options. If you can eliminate as fast as possible, then that's well and good. But sometimes no, you confuse So don't get confused. Like what you do is you match one and then look at options, you get confused. Don't do that. If you are that kind of person, then match all the options first and then try to find the options. Or else if you are very smart, you can in first go only you can eliminate some 2-3 options. That's very good, you go with that. Okay, given below are statements regarding the course of development of socialism in Europe. Arrange them in chronological order. Oh my god, this is a very tough question actually. It seems to be tough, but actually there is a very easy way to eliminate options. Okay, so we'll try that way. Okay, socialists took over the government in Russia through the October Revolution. Now we will go through this. Let's look into the first option, 1 2 3 4 5. When such options comes, no, the first thing that comes into my mind is that such options will always be wrong. Like most of the time they seem to be wrong. They have randomly given an option wherein they have said 1 2 3 4 5. If you look into this, socialists took over the government in Russia through October Revolution, correct. Socialist trade unionists formed a Labour Party in Britain and Socialist Party in France. The Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was formed by socialists who respected Marx's idea. Now if you see, October Revolution took the formation of this Russian Socialist or Democratic Workers' Party was before the Russian or the October Revolution. So the first option is absolutely wrong. So 3 must come before 1. That is for sure. 3 must come before 1. So all the other 3 options follow that pattern. So okay, now we'll move on to the next. Socialists could not succeed in forming a government in Europe, and governments continued to be run by conservative, liberals and radicals. Second International was formed to coordinate the efforts of socialists throughout the Europe. Okay, now if you look into this option, this particular statement, Second International was formed to coordinate the efforts of socialists throughout Europe. This happened earliest. Okay, this occurred first. If you have given your NCERT a thorough reading, you will know that this event was first to take place, in which there were some discussions about how to spread socialism all across Europe, if you remember. Okay, and then if you see, 3 came before 1. That's okay. So now 4th option is eliminated because 5 did not occur after 4. It occurred before 4. So 4th option is eliminated. Okay. Now let's look into the these 2 options. What happened first? Second event or the third event? Okay, we'll compare them. Socialist and trade unionists formed a Labour Party in Britain and Socialist Party in France. If you remember, if you read the third statement, the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was formed by socialists who respected Marx's idea. It happened somewhere in 1800s, and this occurred somewhere in 1900s. Okay, so 3 occurred before 2. So I am very sure that the answer is 1. Okay. Okay. Now let us move on to the 73rd question. Hitler's ideology related to the geopolitical concept of Lebensraum or living space implied there is no equality between people but only a racial hierarchy. Only those species survived on Earth that could adapt themselves to changing climatic condition. Now if you see, by seeing the first option itself, I am very sure that the answer is 1. Okay, it seems to be the correct answer because that was Hitler's ideology. But they are not asking about Hitler's ideology. They are asking about Lebensraum, that is free living space. Okay, Lebensraum means one set of people will have right to the resources of the entire world, or everywhere they go they can have access to them, access to all the resources. So is one related? Not directly, but let's look into the other options. If you see the second option, only those species survived on Earth that could adapt themselves to changing climatic conditions. See, this was the theory given by Darwin. Okay, Okay, this was a theory given by Darwin, which was about natural hierarchy or survival of the fittest, natural selection. It was about natural selection, which was misinterpreted by Nazis, especially Hitler. So this is gone. New territories had to be acquired for settlement to increase the area of mother country. Yes. This again seems to be the correct option. But this is about nationalism. Or this is more about hyper or some kind of extremist nationalism, which was very frequent in England or in Western countries for that matter. So this is not the answer. This is the example of extreme nationalism, wherein the love for your country, you can see this in Balkans region. Okay, this is example of Balkans region. Now here comes the fourth option, an exclusive racial community of pure Germans to be created by physically eliminating all those who were seen as undesirable. This doesn't seem to be right. This is not the correct option, because this is about Hitler's ideology. Okay, so this cannot be the right answer. So the second option is completely wrong. Fourth option is also wrong because it is depicting Hitler's ideas but not the concept of Lebensraum. The first option is also depicting Hitler's idea but not the concept of Lebensraum. And only the one that is closely fitting the definition of Lebensraum is 3. So I think the option must be 3. The answer must be 3. But it is more of a definition of extremist nationalism. And Germans also supported the idea of extremist nationalism during Nazis period. Okay, so extremist nationalism, although is today hijacked by all sorts of wrong people for all sorts of wrong reasons, but at that time it was seriously a problem. Today we require nationalism, and extreme nationalism also brings a lot of fruit, but at that time it was on the cost of other territories. So this is a kind of nationalism that was abducted at that time. Okay, so I think this can be the best suited explanation for increasing the area. They want that only one race people should live all across the world. Okay, so I think the third option should suffice the answer. Okay, now let us move on to the 74th question. During the mid 18th century, Indian spinners and weavers left without work, and important centers of textile declined. Large number of people began boycotting British cloth and started adopting khadi. Okay, see, R is false. During mid 18th century, they are talking about mid 18th century, and the adoption of khadi took place during non-cooperation movement. Which occurred in 1921. Okay, 1921 to 22. So it is not mid 19th century, that is the early 20th century. So R is false. Now when I know R is false, the only option that is that has R as false is option number 3. Option number 3. So without even reading the assertion, I can be very sure that the answer is option number 3. Okay, let's move on. Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement and entered into a pact with Irwin in 1931. Correct. Was it 1931? Think about it. Yes, it was 1931. I was just confusing you. You should be very, very thorough with date. It was 5th March 1931. Okay. Industrial workers in Sholapur attacked structure that symbolized British rule. Now this is interesting. Industrial workers in Sholapur attacked structures that symbolized British rule. This is true. Okay, this is actually true. Did this occur during civil disobedience movement? Yes. But was it the reason for Mahatma Gandhi calling off the civil disobedience movement? No. Why? Because Mahatma Gandhi called off civil disobedience movement because the Britishers started brutally repressing Indians. So that is why, although both are correct, R does not seem to be the correct explanation of A. But if you see, like if you look into see, the option I think best suits is 2. Okay, R should not be the correct explanation of A. But if you see, Britishers started brutally repressing us because because we started protesting against them. Okay, a good example to this was the Sholapur industrial workers attack. Okay, they brutally repressed all those symbols that were British in nature. Okay, so so they started repressing us, and that's why Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement. So I think that is why the answer key said that the answer is 1. But what I think is the correct answer to this should be 2, because it was not because industrial workers attacked, it was because Britishers started brutally repressing Indians. Okay, so so although a conflicting question, but you know, you can tell me your opinion. What do you think should be the correct answer? The latitudinal extent influences the duration of day and night as we move from south to north. I think I discussed about this in my video, in my one of my previous video I made on that India size and location. So we have discussed this question. The latitudinal extent influences the duration of day and night as one moves from south to north. Yeah, this is correct. This is absolutely correct. If you are near the equator, days and night will be days will be longer, nights will be shorter, and if you are near to equator, they will be somewhat equal. If you go far away from equator, then nights will be longer and days will be shorter. So they influence the duration of day and night as you go from south to north. That's correct. From Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. This is also correct, but this is due to the longitudinal extent of India. Okay, so although both are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. R is not the correct explanation of A. So this was a quite easy question. This was a walkover question. Okay, now let us move on to the 77th option. The 77th question. Kharif crops are grown with onset of monsoon in different parts of India and harvested in September to October. If you see, this is a true statement, and I think from class 8th onwards you have been reading about Kharif crops. Kharif crops are sown during monsoon and then they are harvested during September October, and from September October Rabi crops are sown. Availability of precipitation due to western temperate cyclones helps in growing these crops. Correct. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. See, availability of precipitation does influence the growing of some Kharif crops, okay, but not a major part of them are not dependent on precipitation. Okay, the availability of precipitation influences Rabi crops, okay, because at that time there is a lack of water. When there is very shortage of water, at that time you see if water is available at this time or not. Okay, so that influences that influences Rabi crops. If you have read in NCERT, there are 2 sections, one of Kharif crop and of Rabi crop. This is given correctly under the Rabi crop wala section. Availability of precipitation due to western temperate cyclones. Western temperate cyclones helps in growing these crops. This is given under that Rabi crop wala part. Okay, so A is correct, but R is false. So although R seems to be correct, but it is not. So this was a tough question actually. This was a tough question. If you have read NCERT properly, then you can easily mark the answer. Now if you see the 78th question, we already discussed in one of my recent videos I made on population. We discussed this question, that how will you arrange these. I told you that in this alluvial belt region we have most densely populated states. The most densely populated state is Bihar, and the second most densely populated state is West Bengal. So if you arrange them in descending order of population density, so West Bengal will come first. Okay, West Bengal will come first. So the first option is already out of picture. Okay, now the least densely populated state would be a hilly region or a hilly terrain. Okay, so 3 must be the last one. So 2 is also out of picture. Now I told you alluvial belts have high population density. So 2 must have a higher population density than 4. So 3 is the correct answer. I mean, okay. I must mark this with. Okay, I must mark this with this. So 3 is the correct explanation. So 3 is the correct descending order of the population density. Okay, all these regions have very high population density, whereas other regions have comparatively low. The hilly terrains have a very low population density, and the island groups as well. Now look into this. Which one of the following figure is showing the correct direction or movement of South American plates? It is a very what can I tell you, very peculiar question. Why is it a very peculiar question? Because you see, this is given as a diagram in your NCERT, and NCERT, that diagram seems to be quite insignificant. But in this question, so you should not leave any diagram that is given in NCERT. If you look into NCERT, you will be very easily able to find that the answer to this is third one. See, the South American, I'll tell you what is the reason. The South American plates are continuously being, they are continuously attracting, or towards them there is a movement of the Eurasian plates and the African plates, and from the west there is a movement of the North American plates. Okay, or you can say the Eurasian plates, the island groups of Japan and things like that. They are moving towards here. So the third option is correct. But you should be very careful. You should not neglect any map, any diagram, any table, any information that is peculiarly mentioned in your NCERT. Whether it seems to be significant or not, it is very important. See, such questions have been asked. Okay, next question. Based on the data provided below, which of the following tourist center is most probably indicated? Okay, which of the following tourist center is most probably indicated? Okay, elevation 3,500. Oh, this is quite a high elevation. But if you it seems to be quite high, but it is not in Himachal. Of course, there no tourists can go. Himadri. Okay, it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be Himachal, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's somewhere in Himachal, and the latitudinal degree that is given is 34° north. So it's this is a very good information. It is completely in the north, and if you remember, our latitudinal extent is 36 degree 7 4 5 6 no 30 37 degree 6 minutes north. 37, yeah, I am correct. 37 degree 6 minutes north. So if that is so, this must be very close to the northern tip. Okay, if you see Mussoorie, Kodiankal, Shillong seem to be, but the closest seems to be Leh. Okay, and these places do not have such high elevations. The high elevation of mountains are not found here. There are elevations, but not that high, and they are not so much closely they are not so much close to the northern tip as Leh is. So I think D is the correct option. Okay, now let us move on to the 81st question. This was a very interesting question and a tough question as well. Keeping in mind the location of the following sanctuaries, national parks of India, arrange them from south to north. Very interesting question. My favorite national park is Kanha Sanctuary, I guess. Yeah, this is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so it should be in between. Yeah, I also think so. Periyar must be in the bottom, from south to north. So Periyar must be in bottom, I think. Yeah, Periyar must be in bottom. Because Periyar, if you know, he was a Tamilian. Okay, so Periyar, so the option 2 and option 3 are eliminated. Okay, by default they are eliminated. Now let's see which one of the following is correct. Sarishika, if you if you know about Sarshika, Sarshika is located in, I'm not sure, but it is in some northern part. Where is it? If you go and search out, it is in some northern belt, especially above the alluvial belt. Somewhere Sarshika is located. Danchigam is in between. So I think I can say that 81 is the correct answer. Now I'm not entirely sure about this. Okay. You can check out, because I'm not sure whether Danchigam comes first or Sarshika comes first. Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. We'll check this out. Okay, later. Where is Sarshika? Or can we check that out now? Okay. Okay, we'll check that out later. Okay. 82nd question. We have to match the revolutions. It's a quite simple question. Blue revolution is associated with fishes. You can easily relate with the word. Green revolution is associated with food production. White revolution is associated with dairy development. Yellow revolution is associated with silk production. So A with 2, A with 2, B with 3, C with 1. So fourth option is correct. Okay, that's done. Now let's move on. The availability of water resources varies over space and time in India. Correct. On the onset of monsoon, we have abundance of water. In places like Shillong and Meghalaya, we have a lot of water, whereas in Rajasthan we have scarcity of water. So this is true. Water availability is governed by variation in seasonal and annual precipitation, although water scarcity is aggravated by overexploitation and unequal access to water among different social groups. R is also correct. R is also correct. And if you look closely, water availability is governed by variation and seasonal and annual precipitation. Yes. And its scarcity is aggravated. So availability, the reason for availability, variation in availability is explained. So R explains it. So this is a straightforward question. This was an easy one. This and the previous one was also very easy. Now let's look into this. Biotic and abiotic. This, if anybody is a board student, he will know the answer, because this is my teacher told me to know this. She used to repeat this again and again in the class. Biotic and abiotic is based on origin. Renewable and non-renewable is based on exhaustibility. Individual, community, national and international is based on ownership. Potential, stock and reserve is based on status of development. So 1 is 2. Okay. Okay. One option eliminated. B is 4. B is 4. So option number 3 must be the correct answer. C is 3. Yeah. D is 1. Yeah. So that suffices. So 3 is the correct answer. Let's move on to the 85th question. Which of the following is the correct order of rivers from north to south? Oh, peculiar, very peculiar question. Drainage, it is from the chapter drainage. The previous question was from resource and development in geography class 10th. This is from drainage class 9th geography. See, for this I thought of making a video on physical features of India, and if I'll get a positive comment, even I'll make a video on that. Okay. What we will do is, I'll tell you what is the sequence. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bayas, Satluj. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bayas, Satluj. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bayas, Satluj. That is the sequence in which they flow. Okay. So what happens is, if let's suppose this is Mansarovar, it originates from here, then it goes, Indus goes as it is, but it is also joined by some of the rivers which don't find it origins from Mansarovar. Some find in Mansarovar, but some do not. Okay. So these rivers flow southward to Indus. The main Indus is flowing in the northernmost direction, and the others flow in the south direction. So Indus, Jhelum, then Chenab, Ravi, Bayas, and then Satluj. Okay. Bayas meets with Satluj, and later on in Pakistan all these 5 rivers meet together. Okay, so that's why it is called Punjab. I think you remember this. So this is the sequence. This sequence should be remembered. Okay, now let us move on. Match 1 with 2. I think this is a very interesting fact. NH7 is the longest national highway. C. So C will be 4. Now let me see how many options have C as 4. C is 4 in only 2 and 3. Aha, now I can get the answer very easily. 50-50 chance. Now in a very small manner, or you can say a very small description of National Highway 1 is given. It is said that it is Sher Shah Suri Marg. Okay, it connects Amritsar to New Delhi. This was the first national highway that was built. So A will be 2. Okay, so the option number 3 is correct. Okay, 86 must be option number 3. Very good question. If you have read the NCRT, it will be quite easy, but otherwise it's quite tough. It's a very easy question for that matter. Okay, which of the following statement is not true to the context of Manswaram? It is considered as the wettest place on earth. Correct. It possesses cave with staglamite and salicite. I don't know what they are. So 1 is not false. I am very sure about that. 1 is not false. Okay. It is located very close to Tirchapunji. Yes, I know this because I have studied northeastern India quite well. But I don't know about 2. But I know about 4. It is located very close to Myanmar border. It's completely false. How is that? How is that true in remotest of my dreams? See, it seems to be corrupt. This entire statement seems to be corrupt. Manswara is located in Meghalaya. Meghalaya shares its boundary with Bangladesh. Bangladesh is very far, the boundary is very far away. It shares its boundary with Bangladesh, but it is nowhere close to Myanmar. If you see, this is the what is Meghalaya, then this is how it goes. The 7 sisters. Okay, so this is here. Here we have the Myanmar border. Here we have the Myanmar border. It is very far away from Myanmar border. So the 4th option is the correct answer. Okay, because that is false. Now that being said, let us move on to the 88th question. Which of the following facts about the shaded state shown below is incorrect? Where is the shaded state? Okay, this is the shaded state. Can you tell me which is the state? Which is the state? See, you can remember the states. This is Assam, this is Arunachal Pradesh, and this is Nagaland. This is Nagaland. Tripura, Mizoram, Meghalaya. This is Nagaland. Yeah, this is Nagaland. Terrace cultivation is widespread in the hill areas. So this is Nagaland. Okay. Now 88th question, we'll try to answer it. The state is a major producer of uranium. Population density is well below the national average. Yes, this is true. Okay, this is very true. So the 3rd option is wrong. More than 80% of area has a forest as land cover. Correct. They live in highly hilly areas, so there is widespread terrace cultivation practiced. I don't know the second option, but still I know that is the correct answer because I know the other 3 are correct. The Tropic of Cancer passes through which of the following plateaus? Even this I have discussed. Even this has been discussed in my video wherein we studied about India size and location. Okay, I told you that both Malwa and Chota Nagpur plateau pass through the standard latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer, and this divides the country into 2 parts. Malwa is located somewhere south of Rajasthan here. Okay, and Chota Nagpur plateau, that is for sure the answer that you can imagine. But Malwa, the latitude, the Tropic of Cancer cuts this Rajasthan at its southern tip, and the Malwa Plateau is also located here if you closely look into the map, and that is where there is a cut between the Tropic of Cancer and Malwa. The Coriolis force is responsible for deflection of winds towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards left in the southern hemisphere. That is true. Yeah, this is true. That is true. Yeah, correct. This is, if you remember, Coriolis force makes the winds, is a force that influences the wind direction. Okay, and the directions that are provided, it makes it right. Northern hemisphere it makes it right, and southern hemisphere it makes it left. They are absolutely correct. The pressure and wind system of any area depends on latitude and altitude of that place. That is also correct. That is also correct. But how is it even related to Coriolis force? Not even remotely. See, about the pressure and wind system, it is different. And about the wind pattern, the flow of wind pattern, they are different. Seeing the word wind, you should not become enthusiastic and write both are correct and are explained. Say, pressure and wind system and the direction of wind flow are two different topics. Okay, so this is not the correct answer. Correct? This is not the correct answer. The correct answer is 2. Okay, now let us move on. 91st question. Which of the following arguments against prescribing educational qualification for elected representatives are true? This is for this is from a chapter. It's not. It is elections. There is a class 9th chapter. No, elections. How are they conducted and things like that. There you have this. Educational qualification will deprive illiterate citizens of the right to contest elections. Yeah, this was a argument that was given. Okay, relevant qualification for being elected representative is not education but ability to address people's problem. Yes, this is also a correct argument. Educated elected representatives keep distance from common people. This may or may not be true. This is not always true. It is easier for the educated elected representatives to use power for personal gains. That can be true. It should be left to the voters to decide. Yeah, this was a very strong argument that was given. 1, 2 and 5 are the very strong arguments that were given in the textbook, directly given in your textbook. It should be left to the voters to decide how much importance is to be given to the educational qualification of a candidate. And I think this is the entire premises on which the election lies. Okay. Now, 92nd question. Preamble. I have recently made a very interesting video on the preamble of India, and I recommend you all to watch that video. This question will become very clear if you see that video. So, which of the following terms were inserted in the preamble to the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act? Unity was already a part. Okay, and all the other 3 words were added by the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, you should know. I think if you know, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So these 2 words, secular and socialist, were added, and that to assure to all its citizens fraternity, assuring the unity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. The integrity was added in the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, unity was already there. Okay, so the answer to this is 1, 2, 3. They have given this because most of them will answer 2 and 3. You will know secular and socialist, but integrity very less people know, especially of your age. Which of the following international institutions have a democratic way of decision? A more democratic way of decision. All of them do not have democratic way. A more democratic way means we have to compare. Okay, so when I compare, Security Council gives veto rights to 5 people and other 10 people are left as puppets. International Monetary Fund, again the rich has an upper hand, people do not have equal rights. World Bank, again there is an influence of rich countries or developed countries. Only to some extent General Assembly of United Nations allows democratic discussions, debates and decision making. Okay, so it is a more democratic way of decision making at an international level. Okay. Now let us look at the 94th question. I love political science, and political science questions are very almost equal weightage, but these questions are very easy to answer for me at least. Which of the following factors have contributed to change in the caste system? Economic development, true. This is true. This is directly given in your textbook. Education is also directly given in your textbook. Now, whichever does not have both of this should be eliminated. Should be eliminated. Okay. Now, 1, 3, 4, or 5. Now, let's think over this. Elections. Region has changed. Now, in regions where caste system was strong, even today in those regions you find caste system very strong. But in regions where it has become weak, those are the urban areas. Okay, so can be vaguely, but let's look into elections. Now, have elections strengthened caste system, or they have weakened the caste system? They have influenced. They have largely influenced the caste system in various ways. Some have strengthened the caste system for vote bank, and some have tried to dilute it for development. Okay, so I think election is a very strong argument. Okay, caste system first was based on social division. Now it is pampering some political votes. Okay, so elections have largely contributed to change in caste system. Okay. The caste system has entirely taken a new form due to elections. Okay, people vote based on their caste, so this influences caste to a good extent. Okay. Now let us look into this 95th question. Okay, supervises the overall functioning of all the political institutions in a country. President. But if you don't know this, you will know this. Determines the constitutionality of any contentious action. This is the Supreme Court. So D is 1. So the fourth option is gone. Okay. Ministers may have different views, but have to own up their decision to the Prime Minister or the Cabinet? To the Cabinet. Now, if say the Finance Minister has some other views with regard to something, but Cabinet takes up some decision, then the entire cabinet will be responsible for that decision. So the minister cannot express his opposing views. Okay, so C is 4. Distributes and redistribution of work to the minister. This is very obvious. B is 3. Okay, B is 3. So C 3 is gone. Okay, I think B and D were very clear. A and C will have some confusions. Okay, but even if you look, if Prime Minister is gone, then C can be matched only to the cabinet, and then A is left only for the president. So it's very obvious that 1 will be the 2 will be the answer. I mean, 2 will be the answer. Okay. Now, 96th question. Now, in one of my last videos, I told you how to calculate the literacy rate of females in this data. If we have discussed this in the topic population, 340 by 580 into 100, so 58%. So this is an easy question. Okay. 97th. Which of the activities contribute to India's national income? Cooking at home? No, it does not. Teacher teaching in children at home? No, it does not. Doctor prescribing medicine in the clinic? Yes, it does. Cooking in a restaurant? Yes, it does. So 3 is correct. It was a walkover. It was a very easy question. Okay. Least number of questions are asked from economics. Now the economics part has started. In an imaginary economy, the monetary value of the contribution of primary, public and secondary and service sector are given as this. The gross domestic product of the income of the economy is. If you remember how to calculate GDP, it was told to you that you must sum up the net production, the worth of net production in the primary sector, plus secondary sector plus tertiary sector. When you add them, you get the GDP. Okay, they have given one extra information that is with regard to public sector, that is not required. Okay, so it, if you add 100 with 28 and 27, you get 205. You get 205. So that is the answer. You need to add primary sector, secondary sector, the value of production of primary, secondary as service sector, 100, 28 and 77. Okay, you will get 205. Okay, so second option is correct. Now let us move on to the next question. 99th question. This is the second last question. Okay, the question is, which of the following has ration shop? There is only one ration shop. They have access, and this is a village. Okay, they have access to only one ration shop. So you know, the only source of food in villages is ration shop. So there is one family that does not have ration shop. So it will of course lack food security. We have to find families that lack food security. So B will of course be an answer. So of course option 4 is gone, option C is gone, option 3 is also gone. Now 50-50, again 50-50. See, by eliminating you always come to this. Okay, and that's very interesting. Food requirement in kg is 50. Price is given and the money available is given. So if you have 600 and you want to buy 50 kg, you need 60. You need 500. You need 50 kg and 10 rupees per kg. So you need 500 rupees, but you have 600. So you are safe. So A will not be the one. So second option is correct. Let's see if C is food insecure. Yes, he is. They require 200 rupees, but they have only 180 rupees. Okay, the food requirement in kg is 20 and the price is 10. So it's 200 now. The cost that they have to pay is 200, but they have only 180 rupees. So option B is correct. You look at these questions. I will give you the PDF of this question paper. You look at this question, try them yourself as well. Okay. Robinson curse goes to the sea with the net. Classify the factors of production. Choose the appropriate. Knowledge of fishing. Now you have to find out whether this is land, human capital, or things. Again, match the following. Knowledge of fishing is a human capital. Net is a physical capital. Okay. Sea is land. Swimming is labor. I think if you know A and D, you can find the answer. A is 3 and D is 2. So the third option is correct. Done, right? Now we have done the NTSC 2015 SST question paper. Like this, I'll be coming with other papers as well. So stay tuned. If you want for other subjects as well, please do let me know. Right now I'm preparing for social studies. So my preparation is also simultaneously going on. So if you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment section. See you then. Bye bye. Have a nice day.